Hi, my name is Donna Leyens, and I am the Director of Leader Training at B.I.G. Welcome to B.I.G. You are about to embark on a really amazing adventure. So I'm here today to talk to you about your launch, how you can make that launch really successful for you, and really start up your pod on the best possible footing with an instant pod of members. I'm going to do this by going over the launch script, which you should have received from us. And we really want you to hear from us how a really successful launch works. And we don't just throw you out there and say, good luck. We're here to support you. So what you're going to do, number one, is start your launch by making sure that your room is set up in a way that's conducive to a positive environment. And you want to have your check-in table set up at the entrance to your venue or the entrance to the room so that when women walk in the room, they're greeted, they're asked to sign in so you have all of their information, and also so that you can hand them information about B.I.G, something for them to look at while they're waiting for the meeting to get started, and so that they have all of the membership information in front of them. One thing that I'd like to point out to you is what you say is important. However, how you say it is even more important. So you really want to make sure that when you're talking to the group, that you convey to them how excited you are about your big launch and bringing B.I.G to your community, because they will feed off of your excitement. So if you're a little nervous about talking in front of a group, I would recommend that you practice in front of a mirror a couple of times. It'll make you feel better. Depending on how on time or not on time your guests are, you're going to want to call the meeting to order. At that point, you're going to do a brief introduction and tell them that you're so glad that they came, welcome them, and just talk for maybe a sentence or two about how excited you are that everybody's there, and congratulate them for taking time out for themselves. B.I.G didn't start out as an organization. B.I.G started to solve a personal problem, which is how a lot of successful businesses actually get started. So you have in your script the big story of how Tara invited a group of women into her living room to resolve the problem of, what do I do next when I have a family to raise and I still want professional fulfillment? And what I recommend that you do is read through the script. We don't expect you to memorize it verbatim, but understand and know the story so that you can tell it in your own words. So after you're done telling the big story, you want to briefly tell your own story. And it should just be a little summary of where you are today and why it is that you want to bring B.I.G to your community and how you got involved with it. In the script that we sent you, there are questions that you can ask yourself to help you craft your story. Feel free to put in whatever you think is going to be enticing and is going to strike a chord with the women in the room. What I want to tell you about B.I.G is that the power of getting all of us in a room together is that we connect with each other in ways that we never expect. For example, one of you in the room may be a writer. Maybe you love to write and you've thought about becoming a freelance writer, but you have no idea how to go about that. Or maybe you're even a little nervous to put that out there. You could be sitting in a meeting next to a business owner who really wants to start promoting their business by writing articles or blogs, but they don't see themselves as a writer or they don't have time to do it. The two of you are sitting next to each other, you figure this out, and all of a sudden you're a team. I'm here to tell you that this happens all the time at big meetings. And that's the power of getting smart women together. Big doesn't give you all the answers. It provides a safe, supportive environment and the tools that you need to move forward and for us to help each other to move forward and accomplish whatever it is that we want to accomplish and find that personal and professional fulfillment that we're really looking for. So this next part of your launch is one of, if not the most important section. This is where you go around the room and ask people to talk about themselves. This is where they stop just listening to what you're telling them about Big and they start experiencing Big for themselves. Now, you're going to have to judge based on how many people you have at your launch, how many questions you want them to answer. So if you have a small crowd, like maybe 10 or 15 women, you can go through all of the questions. Who were you? Who are you today? Who do you want to be? What might be holding you back from where you want to be? And why did you make the time to come to this meeting today? What interested you in coming to see what Big was all about? You are going to have to be a little bit of a gatekeeper here. Some women will be very concise and will tell their story fairly quickly, but other women might talk for a really long time. You will need to very politely move the talking along because you don't want somebody to talk for 5 or 10 minutes. It won't be fair to the other women in the room. Hopefully, you'll get at least 1 or 2 women who have a story that really strikes a chord with the group. And sometimes the group will jump right in to be supportive if they feel like the woman speaking needs that at the time. And everyone will start to feel the energy and the emotion. And that's really what you want to happen. You want them to start to feel connected to this experience and want to experience it again. So once you've finished going around the room, you're going to thank everybody for sharing and move on to talk about what Big has to offer. I believe that it is perfectly okay at this point for you to have all of the benefits and all of the list of everything that you get with your Big membership in front of you and to read from it. It's a fairly long list, which is a good thing, but it might be difficult for you to memorize everything. Now comes the part where you talk to them about why they want to join Big. What is it that they're going to get out of it? And this is very important. We worded this section very carefully. So if you want to memorize anything, I would say memorize the wording in this section. We use words like imagine and what would it be like for a very good reason, because we want the women in the room to remember how they felt today at the meeting and tap into that and imagine what it would be like to be able to experience that over and over again on a monthly basis or more frequently if they attend more than just one pod meeting. You want to make sure that you tell the group when your next meeting is, where your next meeting is going to be, and what the topic is. And you also want to tell them if there are any meetings in your geographic area that are coming up in between your launch and your first official meeting, you want to tell them about those too. Then you're going to tell them, if this sounds like something that would benefit you and that you want to be a part of, please go over and see Debbie or whatever the name of your check-in person is over at the table, and she can sign you up right now. She can talk to you about the different membership options, and you can become a part of this exciting venture with me. Now, once you close the meeting, Best case scenario, a whole bunch of women walk right over to the check-in table, and that will attract other women to walk over there. However, people will probably start mingling, or some of them at least will start mingling. At this point, you want to walk around and really talk to the women in the room one-on-one. Get a sense of how they felt about the meeting, what they liked about the meeting, and make sure that you tell them at least one more time that you'd love to have them sign up at the launch. And don't just let them walk out the door and say, oh, hope to see you again sometime. Make sure you ask, because most people are waiting to be asked. So good luck. You're going to have an amazing launch and an amazing pod, and you are going to have the experience of a lifetime.